Beautiful. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Damage Counters podcast. It's the squad. I'm Shifu Stu here with Chef Husky
Hey, good to see you guys.
and, of course, Snipe the Bench.
What's going on?
Guys, this week, I think we're going freeform. I don't think we have anything specific to talk about directly. I know, Chef, you were talking about the scalper scene, and the physical cards is definitely something we want on the podcast. We want to contribute to that side as well. I know I've been looking at some City League stuff lately, and I know, Snipe, you're probably prepping for Portland.
We're hoping so, yeah.
How long, what weekend is that?
May 23rd, 24th, 25th.
Oh, yeah, because that's the cook-off, right? That's when we're doing the Vanilla Magikarp Chef Husky team-up.
Yeah, the 5v5.
How's that working?
Just
Chef,
finalized.
that's you.
Yeah, just finalized my team today. We're doing it kind of similar, right? Where we have everybody choose 3 cards and then we'll spin a wheel. Basically, wheel's going to be spun on May 1st, and then we have like 3 weeks to prepare for that, right? We'll be able to we'll have a group chat where we are all just kind of building together. We're going to be in the same party as they're playing it. We're all going to be backseat gaming. It's going to be, it's going to be chaos. It's going to be great.
Chef, I just saw the group chat that you added me to with the cards you chose. Am I allowed to say any of these 3 cards right now, or do I need to keep them unlocked?
No, go for it. I already
This man, Chef Husky, picked Raichu, which I actually really like Raichu. I know we spoke, I think, episode 1. I was a big fan of the Mismagius Raichu spread. I think that's a cool card. Then he picks Alolan Dugtrio. Super niche, but very cool card as well, 0 attack cost. And then Chef Husky picks Sprigatito EX. Dude, what are you thinking? You're trolling our team. This is crazy.
Hey, they have to mirror match it. They have to they have to make it work too, just like we do.
No, I get it. That's just so reckless to pick Sprigatito EX. There's no way to play that card, right?
Lilligant. Gotta be Lilligant, right? Actually, no, wait. You're spoiling our team strategy.
Yeah, well, okay. We'll keep it on the low. We're gonna not use Lilligant for Sprigatito.
We're not doing that.
How's Magikarp's team going? Have you heard anything from that side?
Well, I think he did tell me his team. I know that Gnome is on it. I know that CPU is on it. That's why I avoided all control cards, because I don't want to give CPU that to work with. Who else does he have?
I think the problem there is Gnome can work with anything.
Gnome's good.
Gnome's an absolute deck building wizard. If you're listening to this, Professor Gnome, you're a wizard at deck building.
He is. Our team's pretty stacked too.
We got Ginge, right?
We got Ginge on there. We got Totodile Gang. We got 1912 Titanic Swim Team.
Yeah, we're looking good. We're looking really good.
I'm excited. It's gonna be a great thing. I would love to, do this more with more creators and stuff like that. Pick different teams and whatnot.
I think it's cool, like matching people up with the card. That matches with their playstyle, right?
Right. Yeah. That's the goal. I want to give Titanic Swim Team his aggressive decks. I want to give Ginge whatever he's comfortable with.
What are you giving me? What if you had an archetype? What would you give me?
Sprigatito.
Purely. Okay, so for the rest of this Damage Counters podcast episode, you guys are going to have Snipe the Bench and Chef Husky. Your boy Shifu Stu is leaving here. Dude, if you give me Sprigatito, we got beef, Chef. On site.
Come on, you don't think you can cook with that?
No, I think I can cook with our whole team. I don't think I personally could. No, I need all 6 of our brains collectively building that deck.
For sure. And we'll be there, all along the way. We'll build with you. We'll be in the driver's seat there with you.
It's going to be a blast, man. I'm stoked for it. But I am interested to hear your insight. You were messaging the podcast chat before we hopped into this call about scalping. Obviously, I'm not the in-person card guy. I know, Snipe, you play in person, but you're probably just buying your deck list outright. Talk to us about this experience you've had, Chef, and I think you missed out on a pre-release. Just give us the whole rundown. The floor is yours.
I did, yeah. So I have one shop that I go to pretty regularly, right? I don't have my entire area code mapped out for who's got the tournaments going. So I've really only just got the one place that I go to do my tournaments and my pre-releases and whatnot. and I missed out on the Journey Together one because they had me on a wait list. And from what I heard when I went later, there were a bunch of people on there who knew nothing about the game. They would go in there not realizing they had to attach in order to be able to attack. They didn't know like that they could only play basics. They just were completely clueless and just there to get the Journey Together packs. And that got under my skin so quickly. That drives me insane. It's like, people who want to play the game, people who understand the game, who are here to use the cards for their intended purpose, cannot make it into these events because there are scalpers here who just want to, make the profit off of whatever the newest hot card is. Drives me insane.
And so how do you stop that though? Like, what's the answer?
Honestly, stop the SIRs. It sucks. I'm a collector. I love collecting, and I love the SIRs. But if it's becoming this much of a problem, where the product is becoming triple, quadruple their normal value, like if you look at the Prismatic Evolutions boxes on TCG Player, I think they're still at 180. They're ridiculous.
That's crazy. What is the MSRP from retail?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Snipe. It's 50. I think it's 50.
$60.
Yeah.
You're going for 180?
Yeah, and Journey Together, I went into an actual card shop. Oh. They were selling it for 100. So even the card shops are engaging in this.
That's crazy. Yeah, I did see that too. No, I walk in or just ask buddies. I get the cheapest card I can get. Not a collector, just playing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of competitive players are that way, though, right? You don't have to have the prettiest card to play the game. You need to be good at the game to play the game.
Right.
What I don't understand is how there isn't a division between those two groups of people, right? Like, Chef, you shouldn't miss a pre-release just because collectors want to get their hands on the cards sooner. If that's the culture it's moving towards, there need to be, and this could be a crazy idea, maybe I'm way off base, but different pre-release events, like a collectors driven one and a players driven one, where maybe the boxes of players driven ones have more common cards in them, because we play with common cards, right? A counter catcher is not a super expensive card. I think it'd be fine to have a pre-release for players that have a more increase of, like, usable cards in play. But I don't know. What do you guys think of that?
How would you control that though? Because like if they're giving you the sealed booster packs as like your rewards, or like they often do raffles and whatnot in the middle of the rounds, where some people will just get booster packs, and I think that's mainly what they're going in for, right? Because normally a booster pack is what, $5-6.
Yeah,
and they resell now for like $20. So each one you get is like a good $15 profit.
I mean, I'm thinking you just design the packs, right? They've got to have the ability at the factory to put certain cards in the packs. Maybe that's where I'm, not educated enough on how the print happens, how they actually fill the packs. But it seems to me you could actually have a product that is designed for pre-release play and designed for pre-release collecting. Maybe the collecting is just a normal pack. Nothing's changed. But the play one is a higher percentage of cards that are designed to play the game rather than collect with.
Nah.
That would be nice.
I don't think so. No.
Why not, though? What would stop that, right? Why could you not do it?
Well, think about it. As soon as you play and you get cards, like, I got what second place at a cup. I got a whole 20 or so packs. And I hit the belly bolt that's like $90. And I was like, sweet. And
yeah, it is a nice dopamine hit when it comes.
Yeah.
Even with the prize packs, like you get the really cool stamped EX card, and it's like, oh, it's awesome.
Exactly.
It makes it feel worth it.
Yeah,
I've got to be. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know who's going to pay $90 for it.
That's my thing. I got to be devil's advocate here and ask you guys: do you sell these cards that are worth money? Right? Because like I recently had a few friends get very into the card collecting side.
Yeah.
And no judgment to them, no shame to them. They're loving it. It is a huge, they're doing it with their kids, right? It's a very cool event that you can do. It's pretty chill. It's low key a form of gambling, but not very
Yes.
seriously. What killed me was like they'll pull a card for their set and then they finish their 151 set and it's like, okay, that's awesome. You've completed a whole set. That's worth quite a bit of money in the future. Whereas my buddy just bought a pack the other day, sold the Umbreon worth like $1,600 in prismatic. Sold it for $1,600 on eBay.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. Like I've got that Pikachu EX, the one that's like $500 or $600.
Yeah, you pulled that early on, right?
Yeah, that was my first pack out of Surging Sparks, and I am kind of hesitant to sell it. It's like on the one hand, it's like a super cool card that I just want to be able to show people that I've got it. But on the other hand, first of the month is coming right around the corner. Like if things get a little bit dicey, I'm not above it. But,
So have you sold a card before that was worth over $500?
No, I've never sold a card before.
To me, that embarks a whole new realm of logistics, right? How are you packaging this, $1,000 card? And it happens every day, right? People are shipping thousands of these cards back and forth daily in the United States. And to me, it's just like, it's an insane industry that I don't quite understand.
Yeah, and it's so like arbitrary which ones get picked to be super valuable. Like Umbreon's always gonna get super valuable because people love Umbreon. I think the fact that Prismatic Evolutions was mostly EVs was part of the problem. Like that's kind of what broke our market is the fact that they decided to go with an EV set.
Yeah, so I'm hearing 151's going down. Do you have insight on that?
And I think in general the market is going back down. I think in general like everything, like the scalpers are starting to realize that there isn't really a whole lot good in Journey Together, and so they're kind of getting over it. Prismatic Evolutions was one of those sets that had a lot of special illustration rares, and Journey Together wasn't. It was more of a player's kind of set. And so the market's dying down. The market's going back to normal. Like I think the ETBs for Journey Together are going for like $80 now. Finally dropping back under 100, which is fantastic in my opinion.
Okay.
See,
So then,
same thing happens, but the same thing happens with players. And the biggest card I could think of right off the top of my head, pretty recent, was Prime Catcher. Prime Catcher came out and everybody's
Yes.
like, "Oh, it was unbelievable." Paying $40.
Yeah.
You know how many Prime Catchers I have? One. I switch it in between whatever deck I need.
Yes, me
you know
too.
how much you know how much you can go to the store and get it for today?
Like $8.
$3. Three.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's $3.
it's under 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only have
So-
2 Fezzes for like, and I just got my second Fez because it's
Me
also
too this weekend.
yeah, it's also kind of pricey, but it's about to go down too because of that Dragapult EX
Yep.
box.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up the Prime Catcher snipe because I was having this conversation with my buddy the other day. He was pulling packs on Twitch and, I support him, hop in his streams, try and get viewer count up as I can for my homies. But we were talking about Prime Catcher and I was like, it's crazy that you just pulled this card and didn't blink twice as a collector. When 6 months ago, this card was $40 on TCG Player. And maybe it was longer than 6 months ago, but when Prime Catcher was peak, it was 40, and he was like, "This card has never been worth $40 ever, dude."
Yeah.
And we looked it up, and it was worth $39.46 or something on TCG at its peak, like for one
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
That was
When it
crucial to the
came out.
meta.
Yeah, I bought it when it was $37.
Yeah, I
But there
think I
are
paid
decks that can't
25 or
operate
so.
without it.
No, it's
Like
Yeah.
Miraidon, I would say Miraidon has to have it.
I had it in
depends
Palafin.
which one you're running.
Okay, give me a Miraidon that doesn't run Prime Catcher. I mean, I guess you could.
Sparkling Crystal if you want to use Pikachu as your attacker.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean,
the
Sparkling
only other
Crystal,
time
we
I've
talked
changed
about it last week. Goated, best ever, right? It's so strong right now.
I think it might be. I think it is the best ace spec right now.
There's just too many Terra Pokemon. I wish that they would have restricted the amount of Terra Pokemon per set. I just don't think there should be that many that are immune to bench damage once evolved.
Oh, here we go again.
Okay.
Bench damage.
It's a valid point to make, though. That is my least favorite part about Terra Pokemon. is the bench protection. It feels like training wheels.
I kind of agree. As somebody who was
No.
like, I was making a video about the Arboliva EX that's coming out, and I'm like, I like it a lot, but it can't hit Terras. But so like, I don't know.
Salamence. Like, why even print that Salamence, dude? Why? Terras are everything right now.
Yeah, they're really good.
Yeah, but most of the time they have one, maybe two. So you got, and most likely it's in the active, right? So out of the 5 bench,
Maybe.
okay, so you can't hit 4 of them. I mean, you can hit 4 of them at a 5. But in all honesty, who's playing Salamence deck?
No one. I will say that I did download the City League deck of Charizard Salamence and played a few rounds with it, and it was super fun. You can charge it up so quickly using Charizard. You're running a heavy energy line Charizard deck, so it just feels smooth the whole game. It was a blast. The problem is, the second you play a Terra deck, you want to concede, right? You just can't hurt their bench.
And what's the other attack? Isn't it like 300, but you got to give up 2 energy or something?
Yeah,
That
and
sounds
of
right.
course, you're not packing a boomerang. You're not using that attack ever. Basically, the whole deck was just, get out a Charizard that you put 1 energy on while you energize 2 energy onto a Salamence. And then by the time that you've dropped 50 on most of their bench, Charizard KOs everything.
Right.
And it honestly worked pretty well. I got crapped on by Zoroark. If only I had the Mimikyu, which is right now to me like the funniest thing on the
But wait a
ladder.
minute,
Is
wait a
if you
minute,
play
wait a
Mimikyu, Zoroark just loses.
But wait a minute. You just said you didn't want it because of Terra Pokemon. And you just got manhandled by a deck that plays 0.
Yeah, because think about
So
it.
how's that work?
Think about it. You can't do 50 per turn fast enough with Salamence to KO the Zoroarks and the bench Pokemon they're attacking from, so you lose Salamence. And then, unless they've taken enough prize cards and you can KO 280 plus, they're taking 2 of your Zards and 1-hit KO returns after they don't get 1-hit KO. They're doing like 500 damage to you.
So the point is it's a bad card. It has nothing to do with Terras.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, Salamence is bad, but the point
just
of the
a bad
spread
card.
damage. Yeah, you're right. Salamence is bad. And I think there's probably an argument to be made that spread damage is just bad.
Hey, don't say that.
And I hate to say it outright like that, but I don't think it makes a ton of sense in a game where right now you look at Guardy, you Dragapult's a little
Don't.
semi-spread, but like Guardy's KO in anything they want in 1 turn.
I hate Guardy.
But
Yeah.
that's what makes it strong, right? They're not playing the long game. They're using Monkey Dories, they're using their own damage boosting, and they're KOing anything they want per turn.
Yeah, I don't believe in spread without Devo. I think if you're running a spread deck, you're running at least 2 Devos.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's at least
respect that.
My philosophy is like, you're not doing 310 damage on a spread deck. So your goal is to get 90 damage and then Devo it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. You
I got-
struggle
I got-
against like our Chaladons, right?
Yes, because the Duraludon's out like what 130 or something like that.
Yeah,
It's-
130.
it's a lot.
That's a fat boy.
Yeah, so you have to work a little bit harder for that one, but the concept still applies.
I think you're right. I think the philosophy is real. Snipe, what do you got?
I was playing today at a cup, and all of a sudden it was a Dragapult deck, of course. And all of a sudden I was doing okay, and all of a sudden he devoed. I went, oh, I did not see that coming.
I got Devoed by a
But,
Dragapult player too.
Yeah. I was like, ooh, well, that just, it went from my favor to now it's a 50-50. And I did end up losing. It was a great game, but I did end up losing that match.
I imagine Devo and Dragapult is just like a mirror match winner, right?
Yes.
You
Yeah.
just automatically beat the mirror match on spot.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
doesn't take
you
a
can
whole
get it.
lot.
Yeah, because you just boss or whatever, hit their Dragapult 200, spread some damage, and then try to ball something else up, more damage, and then third turn Devo everything, boom, gone.
Yeah, I sleep on Devo. I haven't played a deck with it in a minute. I need to get back on that.
Yeah, any
Taking
spread deck that I
away-
do has two of them.
I mean, I could even see 3 in certain decks. Just like guaranteeing that by turn 6 you're devoing out a few KOs. I could see it.
You know what else I like
Yeah,
a lot for spread
much.
decks? The Aerodactyl that does like Devo Ray.
Yeah.
That one's funny too.
That was one of my favorite techs that people added into Slow King recently. Is the Devo Ray Aerodactyl, because it's not an EX Pokemon, so you can use it with the Slow King. You just got to set it up on top of your deck with Academy. Pretty gross, right? I think there are much better Pokemon. You know, I think the Conkeldurr is probably just a better slot in the deck over that card, doing 250 outright. But man, you got to love the Devo Ray on the Aerodactyl.
It's so much fun, and like it's one of the better fossils because it's only like a stage 1. And I think you can discard a fossil at any time. So if you don't think you're gonna use it, you can just gone.
Yeah. Although fossils have that secondary benefit of being the counter to the Petrant decks, right? You're playing Poison Package Arch, you wanted to try and donk me, you're not
true.
going to donk or poison a fossil, period.
Actually, you can't start a fossil, can you?
I believe you can. Yeah.
I don't think you can.
I don't think you can.
You can't start with a fossil in the active?
I've tried to before. I had like a fossil box and like it wouldn't let me start with anything but Omastar.
I think it says it on there. You can't start it in the active.
Yeah, you can bench at any time, but
I'm
it's
looking it
not.
up now.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, you cannot.
Yeah, you found it. It says you can't.
So, I was telling you the other day, Chef, that you should use Root Fossil in one of your decks because I thought you could start it. That was just a dumb recommendation then. I think it was the same deck that you were using the Snorlax doll. What was the deck you put Snorlax doll in recently? Because that was crazy.
My denial box. Yeah, I'm still working on it. The Lily's box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, give some insight into that, because I saw the Snorlax doll and I was like, okay, this is kind of genius to counter the poison, but then Root Fossil has the Espathra ability on it, if I'm not mistaken, where it makes your opponent's active cost 1 more to attack.
I think that's correct. Yeah, all of the fossils have like their own like secondary perk to it, right? Like some of them are immune to like spread damage. Some of them are immune to it, this, that, or the other. But yeah, so this whole like denial box is based around just denying prizes. I got that Pheasantipity in there, the single prize one, that it prevents damage if it's got dark energy attached. I got Lily's Clefairy, I've got Lily's Pearl, I've got Legacy Energy, so that if you do your 200 damage to my Lily's Clefairy, you take 0 prizes for it. Got the Frostlass EX. I'm working on I want like the 4 horsemen of prize denial. I had a Glamora in there at 1.2, but it was a little bit too clunky with all of that in there. So I actually did take out the Snorlax dolls, because the Snorlax doll was meant to essentially just buy you some time to get everything set up. It's a 120 HP item card that you can start with. And it doesn't give prizes if you knock it out, so it buys you a lot of time.
Yeah, I think the doll is a really cool card. I think that the Pheasantipity is cool. My only thing is that it's a coin flip, right?
Yes, that's right. I think Frostlass also is a coin flip though.
I would argue Monkey Dory EX is one of the 4 horsemen of prize denial. While Petron is on the bench, they take 1 less prize.
Maybe. Yeah. Oh, is it guaranteed? I thought it was a coin flip also.
No, it's guaranteed with Monkey Dory. So while you have Petron on your bench, Monkey Dory EX only gives 1 prize card. Legacy Energy, now you give 0 for an EX.
Maybe I'll give that one a try too, because like I am trying to rework it a little bit. I'm working on it tomorrow. But yeah, that would be cool. I love the idea, because a lot of my decks are really just like survive long enough to do what you need to do, and so this is like right up my alley. It's just like if you can't take any prizes for what I'm doing, then you're just out, because it's got both the Frostlass EX and Baby Frostlass, so it's really just a matter of outliving me.
Yeah, I mean, there is an argument to be made that like Raging Bolt can only take X amount of knockouts before they're out of resources.
Yes.
And if you made their first 3 knockouts give them 0 prize cards, they probably lose the game. I don't think there's enough retrievals.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, because I know
I mean,
that
Lily's Clefairy.
they play the Sadas and they play some Pal Pads, but I think they do tend to mill themselves quite a bit, don't they? I know that they
yeah.
definitely do with Pokestop, but I don't know how it is now.
I mean, I think even without it, you're still going through a ton of cards with Sadas, right? You're probably using Explorers, maybe 1 or 2 in the deck, but I guess the only downside is that you can't Bravery Charm Lily's Clefairy and put Lily's Pearl on it, which
Right.
is something that, like, Lily's Clefairy just has a really low HP value.
Yeah, for sure.
So, Snipe, tell us about how the scene is looking moving into Portland. I want to say, hey, thank you again for doing that awesome interview. When I was editing and listening through you guys do the interview, you guys crushed it. That was a great segment, and I just appreciate you taking the time to make that happen.
Hey, no problem. It was glad to do it. Preston's a good guy.
Dude, he was super cool. You think about these pro players and you're like, man, I wonder what type of person that is. And then you listen to an interview with them and you're like, oh, I'd kick it with him. Yeah. Any day, right? Like he likes the game that we all like. We would all get along well.
Yeah, he's a good dude. We quick funny story. We go to a regional, and it's like Saturday night. And I'm like, hey man, neither of us made day 2 of that one. Well, I haven't made one yet, but he didn't make one of that one. I was like, hey man, let's go watch the UFC. He goes, where do you want to do that? I'm like, I don't know. There's a bar around the corner. He's like, dude, I'm only 20. I go, what?
What?
I was like, oh man. He's like,
Oh my God.
Yeah, he's only 20 years old. So that was fun.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, let's go to like a TGIF or something.
It feels really weird to have like a big chunk of my audience. I feel like is significantly younger than me. Like I kind of just assume everybody's my age, but no, like there's a wide range of ages.
Yeah, so that was funny. So looking at the tournaments, the major tournaments, we have Gardevoir winning 4 in a row, which oh God. So you got to be able to. If you're not putting 1 or 2 jamming towers, you're in any of your decks. You have to. It's a free knockout. As soon as they take it, boom, put the jamming tower. As long as you're playing, assuming you're playing, big stage 2s or stage 1s where they got to use that bravery charm, get that extra knockout. So if you're not playing Gardevoir, put a jamming tower in. If you can, put 2 because it stops a bunch of stuff. Bravery charms. It doesn't stop the poison though. They can still poison because the capsule just needs to be attached to Brute Bonnet. It doesn't. They lose the extra HP, but the poison happens for Brute Bonnet's ability, not
Really?
the capsule. Yeah.
I did not realize that's how that operates.
Yeah, because the ability is Brute Bonnet if it has a capsule attached, which it does. Even if you have jamming tower, it's not like it goes away. It's still attached. It just has no effect. So
I had that happen once.
Yeah, so it doesn't stop the poison part. Yeah, it's frustrating. The first time you go through, you're like, you can't poison me. And it's like, no, actually, I can.
So I mean, with that being the case, though, our Chaladon stocks are about to skyrocket, right?
I have not seen it. No.
It's such a good deck for jamming tower.
It is.
People were running 4 jamming towers in our Chaladon like 4 months ago. I swear.
Well, but now with the poison package, they play Mochi. You don't want to do jamming tower in our Chaladon anymore. Because now
I guess that's the problem. There's no way to get that damage stem otherwise, right?
Yeah, to hit that 260, 290.
Well, I guess, what is the stadium that you were cooking with?
Well, yeah, for in there now you're putting the Perilous Jungle.
No, well, yeah, you have Perilous Jungle, but there was a stadium you were talking about the other day. God, I can't think of the name of it. You attach non-water energies to Pokemon.
Oh,
and you
Calamitous.
deal 20
Oh, the
damage.
Calamitous
Calamitous.
Mountain.
Yeah, Calamitous is a cool tech to get a little extra mochi-like damage in.
Well, that's again, that's a different build. You're
Yeah.
you're playing that. You're gonna play it with Monkey Dory on that one, where Preston he started with that. You know, the big couple Monkey Dory, Calamitous Wasteland, boom, send some extra damage over.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just you could only attach once per turn. So he found out it wasn't worth it. It was better doing the getting rid of the jamming towers and putting Perilous Jungle with the poison package.
Yeah, I mean, I think Perilous is just the best tech for our Chaladon. It's just tough that Gardevoir does not have a ton of amazing answers right now. I mean, if you had to pick one deck to play against Guardy with, what would it be?
Right now, anything, just
Yeah.
stick in some jamming towers. I mean, you need jamming towers and Gust. That's the way you're going to beat it. I was playing Dragapult Goldengo, and I had close games against Gardevoir. Lost them, but they were close. But I didn't have any jamming towers in there, so that's when I went and put 2 in my Goldengo Dragapult. I was like, I only used the Rigiband, so I was like, all right, we'll toss that one out. So, because I don't want to, obviously, you don't want to contradict yourself there. So, but of course, then I didn't I only ran into one Guardy, and I beat it because I kept getting those extra prizes with the 2 jamming towers. So, I mean,
it's free KOs.
It's yes, because then you're changing that prize trade of always just taking 1 to taking 2, possibly 3 if you got that Gust on Gardevoir and can knock it out with whatever you got. Like like I said, Goldengo, I was hitting 350 easy, so I would sit there, counter catcher Gardevoir up since they just took a knockout. I'm obviously behind. Put down my jamming tower, boom, Drifloon's gone. And then knock out Gardevoir. I just took a 3 prize turn. That's half my game. Yep. That's the way you got to be Gardevoir. It's possible. The problem is people are not playing enough jamming towers.
Yeah, I mean, in my mind, if I were to pick a deck against Gardevoir right now, it would be the Charizard Terra Box. You're running the normal Charizard, and then you throw in a little bit of that Wellspring Ogerpon. You've got the huge damage pump potential with the spread. You're KOing 2 Mons on a Guardy board, easily dealing 120 and 100, right? That's an easy double KO. Yeah. And then Charizard is hitting for super effective on Gardevoir, which Gardevoir would not be as powerful. Do what?
It's knocking it out because of weakness. So you're knocking
that's
it out
what I'm saying.
Right
it's super effective. You got the double damage, and if Guardy wasn't, like, let's just say Guardy is a 280 HP EX. The deck's not meta.
Right.
It's that simple, right? It's that little of damage makes the difference of why Guardy's so strong, because she gets to tank that turn if she gets brought in.
Well, and Monkey Dory is just ridiculous. I mean, if you see a board with 2 Monkey Dory, let alone if I was watching it, he had 3 Monkey Dories. If you hit 3,
you're the best deck in the game.
Well, I mean, there's nothing you're going to do about it.
You can't beat it.
No, it's you're in some deep trouble.
That's why Blissy's been popping off.
Yeah, Blissey Monkey Dory. I mean, listen, we just saw a world champ take Blissey Monkey Dory to a tournament. It's real, right? If you need more of a reason to think that Blissey Monkey Dory is a playable deck than a literal world champion piloting it, then you're looking for too much, because that is clearly a working deck, right? And I think we talked about it last week. If you get 3 Monkey Dory on the board energized and you don't win the game, you made a serious mistake along the way.
Well, and then, of course, what do you see on Twitter today as soon as this happens?
I don't use social media. Elaborate. Tell me.
Well, they don't want to ban Badoo anymore. Now people want to ban Monkey Dory.
Oh, yeah. Okay, buddy. Okay.
I mean, you take it for what who knows if they're just messing around, or I don't know. But I do see it. It was like, oh, this card is just ridiculous. It's not fair. No, just play around it.
It is mega strong. I'll give it that. But I don't think
absolutely. But
Oh,
if you're taking 3 prizes from Gardevoir, the only way to do that is jamming tower and then boss it up. And
mm-hmm.
if you're playing Charizard, you can let them. They're not going to be able to hit 330 right away. They can't.
No.
There's because they're not playing Brilliant Blender. I think they're doing is it Secret Box.
Yeah,
Is that what
that
they're
is the
using? I think they're
standard Guardian. That's the
right
Henry
now.
brand.
Yeah. So, since they're using Secret Box, they still got to get all that energy out. It's going to take them 2-3 turns. So they're trying to. If you get your Charizard ready to go, soon as they get that Gardevoir, boom, boss it. You get in 2 prizes. If you have Jamming Tower, you can take the 3rd. Because the only way they're going to try to hit your big guys is with Drifloon.
They could. I think it only takes what, 3 knockouts? No, it takes 5 prize cards for you to KO a counter Charizard, right? So if you're in a Zard matchup, I'm thinking about if they were to energize their Mew, you would have had to have taken 5 of their prize cards for their Mew to one-hit KO your Charizard.
Yeah, they always have that backup.
But at that point, it's like, you're not even just worried about a Mew. Like, that's just Ursaluna range. You should be prepared at 5 prize cards to have something hit you with reversals.
Yeah, and here's the big thing of why Charizard was what? It was the best deck in format for a year and a half, 2 years, maybe. I don't know how long it was. It felt like forever.
I think it's probably closer to a year and a half realistically, but we feel it's longer.
Yeah, and then Badoo comes out and everybody's like, you can't. And the reason is, and why did Dragapult? Because it's got the stage 1 that does something. It's a draw engine, right?
Yeah.
And why was Gardevoir so good for so long? It had a
Really?
stage 1 that had a draw engine. So why Charizard fall off when it was the best deck for a year and a half? Well, what's its stage 1 do? Nothing.
I mean, it's bench protection. It's built. Charmeleon has built-in bench protection. It's like a mist energy and its ability.
It's not getting you 2 extra cards like everybody else, or at least you get to look at 2
it's
cards.
not. But I mean, hypothetically, if you ran like, maybe this is too deep, but if you ran a Mimikyu in a Charizard deck,
No,
right, all you'd need to do is set it up in the active against certain decks, and you just get to build an entire board of Charizards ready to swing for game.
No, I dabbled in it last month once I realized
Really?
Gardevoir, and just put it at Dragapult Charizard, and sit behind Badoo. I mean, that's what Dragapult does now.
Yeah.
So why not just change a couple? I mean, basically like Goldengo Dragapult, but I would make it a bigger Dragapult and support by Charizard, because number 1, it accelerates that fire energy, which is great.
Yep.
You still get
We
your
can put
Dracloak
2
engine.
on Zard, 1 on the Dragcloak.
Yeah, or you could put 2 on, 1 on Dragcloak, another 1 on Dragcloak, and another 1 on Zard, and then attach for turn, and get all 4 out.
You're right.
I mean, on the 1 turn, you can do that turn 2, or maybe not turn 2, because they're probably going to Badoo you, right? No matter what. So now you're fighting the Badoo wars. But that's why Charizard fell off. It's because when you're Badoo locked, if you don't have a draw engine, you're just in top deck mode, and you're gonna lose while they set up. So I dabbled in it, and I kind of fell in love with a different deck. So we'll see how that goes.
I almost feel like to play a Zard successfully now, you would have to play 4-4-4, which just feels so clunky.
Oh yeah, you can't do that. There's no, because you have to, unless you play like a couple Jacques to keep, finding.
Yeah, but Jacques and Zard doesn't. I don't feel like I have space for that.
No, that's why I was playing with it in. Instead of running 4 Dreepy Dracloak, I was doing 3-3 instead of 4-4, so I could have room for my Charizard. Because then you could just boss up Guardy every time. Oh, Guardy's out there? Cool. You're good luck hitting 330.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna hit it. I mean,
If I'm knocking out your Guardy every turn, I don't care that Drifloon has its thing, and that's when you find the jamming tower and boop.
I think you're right that jamming tower is the Guardy answer. However, specifically for Zard, my favorite way that I played it back in the day, because I played Zard. We've all played Zard. You're lying to yourself. You said you didn't get on the ladder with a Zard deck. I know you have.
I did not.
When I played Zard, it was with a Hero's Cape, and it was despicable.
430.
It's disgusting, man. I won so many games because of a 430 HP Charizard. People just quit when you attach it.
You know why? Because they weren't playing jamming tower.
Yep. Chef, I was hearing some murmurs back there. What were you saying about the Zard deck? I know you've played Zard on ladder once, at least once.
Nope, never done it. I think, let's see, the only meta thing that I've played is Drago, and that was before it got super popular. As soon as it caught fire, I was out.
See, here's the thing, though. Saying that you were a hipster to Reggie Drago does not save any face. You still played Reggie Drago.
No, Reggie Drago was one of us once. It was a rogue deck. It was a rogue deck.
Obviously before I came, but that's crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, okay. Sorry, I did play
running Gudra.
I did play a meta deck. Now that I think about it. And I'm sorry, Snipe. I played quite a bit of Lost Tina.
Oh,
actually.
God.
Yeah, get out of here, dude. That's gross.
I played some Lost Tina.
We don't want to talk about that like ever again.
Yeah. No, we're moving on from that. So City Leagues right now have been looking hot. And, Shep, I want to bring up a City League that you'll like specifically here.
Yep.
Palafin is back.
Palafin's back. Let's go.
We finally see a Palafin EX deck popping back up. It's got the 2 Palafins that have the 0 to hero ability. It does have the single copy of the Jet Punch Justice Kick one that we saw all over the place in the late stage Palafin pre-rotation.
Love it.
Everything else is identical to what we saw before. We have the Weavile, we have the Sneasels, the Petruns, the Fez, the Monkey Dory. Dude, I think it looks really good. It's still rocking Max Belt because you're KOing everything in the game with Max Belt. There is not a Pokemon. Well, I guess.
What?
It only brings you to 300.
Yeah.
But when you pair that with the other
one.
Palafin that can do 30-30, you're taking out 330 and Pults easily, right? Because you just need to set up one hit on a Pult for 300, leave it with the 20 left, and then swap back up a single prizer Palafin that does 30 to active and 30 to bench.
You can't hit the Terra on the bench, bud.
Well, it's in the active, right? We left it in the active with 30 left. Yeah.
If you're leaving it in the
I
active,
agree.
yeah, but
you can on bench, yeah. But
then
I'm
you can't
excited
hit
to see Palafin. I
Yeah, me
love
too.
this deck.
Like I got my tush pushed by one the other day, and I actually felt it was nice. You know, it was like I love to see it do well, especially with the Weavile.
It's a really aggro deck that has merit. I think like if you play the deck quick enough and if you draw the right first hand, I think it's inconsistent overall. It does not have the best consistency, but if you draw that right hand, you won that round.
Yeah, but I mean, we have like, so when I ran Palafin, I had Dendra in it, where it's like you put a card to the bottom of your deck and draw to 5.
Yep.
Perrin also kind of works pretty well in there. You got Academy at Night that could do it. You know, there are ways to get it out of your hand. If you know, I also played a high Iono count on it, so I don't think it's too clunky. I think without Irida, it suffers though.
Yeah, I mean, Irida is a loss for sure, but the deck is now just a 4 Research, 4 Iono, 3 Arven, 2 Boss. And the Surfer as well, which I think Surfer's cool. I'm running Kieran over Surfer in a Palafin deck every day of the week so that I can hit that 280.
I did too.
Yeah.
280. Now you're hitting your 330. Now you're good.
Yeah. Now with the max belt, you're hitting 330, right? I mean, I think Kieran has an earned place in the Palafin deck without question.
Yeah, it does.
Now, are you looking at this? Are you looking at the city leagues that are now in Destined Rivals?
Yeah,
like the
I'm looking
most
at one
recent?
from I'm looking at results from today, 27th of
okay.
April. Yeah.
All right, cool.
And so within this list, there's a couple of other really cool decks that I think are popping up I didn't expect. The first one for me is the Ethan's Typhlosion next to Drag Cloak. No Dragapult. It is a 2/2 Dreepy Drag Cloak line as a draw engine in Ethan's Typhlosion. I love it.
It's crazy.
But it works, right? It's so easy to get. You're only running 5 energy in the whole deck because Typhlosion only needs 1 energy to hit for 280. I'm thinking that deck is going to be really nice. I think another interesting fire deck that's popping off right now, Blaziken Pecharunt. So you have the whole poison package as far as the baby Pecharunt and the large Pecharunt, but you don't have the Brute Bonnet in the deck. So you're running just Blaziken, Monkey Dory, Baby Petch, Petch EX, Fez, and Shaman. That's your whole set.
Wait a minute. Then you're only hitting for 200 every time.
You're hitting for 200, but if you're able to use the Pecharunt baby as a lock piece, I think you've got a lot of potential on this board, right? You have the 3 Monkey Dory, you have a ton of darkness energy, Shaman keeps your bench protected. You're able to energize Blaziken every time you get him into active. No matter what, you're able to use his ability and guarantee a hit off. I like it. I think there's a solid deck here happening.
Yeah. I'm looking at it now, and what's funny is out of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the first 6, 3 of them have the Noctowl engine. And with that new stadium, I'd be scared to death to play the Noctowl engine. It just shuts you down unless you have your own. I mean, all you need is your own stadium to bump, but if it's not in your hand, what do you do?
Well, there's only one Team Rocket's deck in the entire top 8 here, which I think is worth us bringing up is the Team Rocket Porygon deck.
Hey, I did a video on that on Friday.
It is 4/2/4 Porygon line, 1 Articuno, 1 Mimikyu. I love it. I love this deck. I think this is going to be amazing. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 play sets of Team Rocket supporters. That is 20 supporter cards for your Porygon.
And have you seen what they do?
Have
Have you seen what each one does?
They're all very powerful in their own unique way, which
Giovanni is a prime
low-key-
catcher.
low key though, I could see the issue with this deck being you don't have the right supporter at the right time.
For that, you just use Rocket's Transceiver.
Yeah, I was just gonna say you just get that's the item card that lets you literally pick.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, and you're running 4 of them, of course. I mean, dude, this is a worthwhile deck to look into.
Yeah, that's easily one of the best ones that I've seen from Rocket.
Yeah, but as I look here, I don't think anybody's figured it out yet, at least over there.
No, I mean, yeah, 8th place is, nothing incredible for one tournament to show up in. I don't see any in the second list, although I'm seeing more and more in Zorart. I think it just gets so walled by Mimikyu. If you can get a Mimikyu in the active before Inns loses a Pokemon, you won the game automatically. They cannot KO themselves to get Darmanitan to attack with reversal. One Mimikyu wins the game.
Got you. Yeah, if you don't take a prize.
Yeah, if you don't take it, right? You got to be smart about that early. I mean, I'm interested in these Marnie decks coming around. I really want to see the Marnie's Grimmsnarl be something good. I don't think it'll be amazing. I think, something that's interesting to me is finally seeing a Goldango Togekiss back. Snipe, you're the guy to talk about the Goldango Togekiss. The thing is, it's running 4/4 on the Goldango, and then it's running 2/2/2 on the Togekiss line. Whereas I believe you just ran it 1/1 without the stage 1, right?
I started running a 1/1/1, and then I changed to a 1/0/1.
Yeah.
Instead, and then I put in my Klefkis, but like I said, with that stadium run around, I'm not too scared of Fan Rodon being played that much, or that I could be wrong. So I'm gonna take out the Klefkis, change some cards, and obviously it'll look different come rotation or new format, I should say. So I'm liking the Crispin with some super rods, because now, as it is right now, I can't. It takes me 2 turns to get Dragapult ready with attach. But with Crispin, I can do it 1 turn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna change the build a little bit, and then if I can find room for that Togekiss, I'll put it in.
Yeah, absolutely. When you flip that coin and change the game, it's something special.
I mean, think about this: jamming tower the active for Drifloon, let's just say, right? You get to flip a coin right then and there. Then you boss up Gardevoir and you hit that out, and you get to flip a coin again. You could take 5 prize cards in 1 turn. Could, of course.
That's insane.
Right? Even if you
That's
get to
actually
3
crazy.
is still crazy. Even if you get to 3 is crazy. But if one of those hits heads, which mathematically it should, you get 4 prize cards. How are you losing that game?
You're not. You
I
shouldn't.
don't
If you do,
think
something
you
went
should.
really wrong.
Either you're playing from way behind or something went wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you went into the tournament with a couple drinks in you. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I think Gardevoir's beatable in now. And I mean, how are you looking in the city leagues? You seeing Gardevoir's pop up?
I'm not, and that is a worthy question to be asking. I mean, it's there. Don't get me wrong. It's got its representation. However, in the top 8 of city leagues available to look at, there's one Guardy first place, right?
And I think the only new card they're adding, it's going to run exactly how it is now. The only card they're adding is Shaman.
Weird to me that none of them are running the Rockets Mimikyu. I think it has value.
Oh, dude, I love Rocket's Mimikyu.
I think Rocket's Mimikyu is a 1 prize version of Mew that lets you use the Dragapult's Phantom Dive.
And it lets you use it for 400 if you got Lily's Clefairy in there.
Yeah, you're knocking out the Dragapult.
You're absolutely right. I didn't even think about Lily's Clefairy. I'm shocked that it's not getting ran in Gardevoir.
That is crazy.
You don't need the damage on it, right? So hypothetically, I charge it up with 2 energy, throw 40 on it. I send all 40 of that back.
Yeah, put it on something, whatever.
Why not?
Whatever's on their bench.
Because that's one of the issues, I think, with Guardy attackers is that so many of them do require damage on them. The Screamtail, the Drifloon, right? You need to have that damage built up so you don't always get to monkey it over. I think Mimikyu could do something, but I will say, as we are quickly running out of our time block tonight, there is a first place performance from the beautiful Festival Grounds deck.
Get out of here.
It is Applin, Diplin, it's got the Grookey, the Thwacky. It is running a single Rillaboom to go all the way to stage 2 with it. And then you've got the Goldeen, the Sea King, and they're packing Shaman, because why wouldn't you run Shaman now that it's out in that deck, right? I think I like it.
You have to.
I like that this deck actually got a first place. The deck it beat, let me just get guesses in the chat. Who's got a guess at the deck it beat?
I'm actually looking at it right now.
Well, don't say anything. Snipe.
I'm looking at it too.
No! Oh my! So you guys are saying that it beat the Crobat Dragapult that we talked about last week as being like, that's the new BDIF. It won it for the tournament.
That's crazy, because Crobat, they're all weak to lightning, so they're not even... That's nuts.
Dude, you would have thought that had the Crobat worked properly, you would have been able to get the 20 from Golbat on a Diplin, evolve next turn, take out another Diplin with another 20, throw a 20 on maybe... You would think that that is the winning matchup.
Yeah.
Really, when you get that maximum belt on, you're attacking twice, dude, nothing's surviving.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Bernie's Grimmsnarl did pretty good here,
they're
too.
only
Yep.
when I look at it, they're only playing. Ironically, it's a jamming tower, but they're only playing one stadium. So Festival Lead, they play all four.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, and I think that's
so
where Festival Lead gets some prowess moving forward, right? Like it's a heavy stadium control.
yeah, yeah. I think that's probably where. I mean, if you're not playing, not that you're gonna lose the stadium war anyway, unless you're playing four stadiums. But if you got to be able to make them find it. Although they got Thwacky to go get it every single time. That's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, for a really long time, Pidgeot was the GOAT, right? And we've moved on from Pidgeot with new supporters, new tools, Terramons, but like Pidgeot was so strong because it let you pick anything once per turn. These people are setting up 3 Grookies. You're picking 3 cards out of your deck every single turn you want.
It is. It's crazy, but
It's
the
really
damage
strong.
output is what is it? 120 or 100 max? I'm talking
Well,
like no other modifiers.
Seeking or
Well,
the
whatever
Applin.
whatever their strongest attacker is. What is it?
I would think Seeking is the strongest attacker here, which is doing. No, it's got to be it's got to be the Diplin who's doing 20 times each of your benched Pokemon. So you're doing 200, right?
Yeah.
That's
So you're
pre the 50. So you could do 5 or you could do 300.
Right, with a max belt.
Whereas Seeking can hit 220 and you're drawing 4 cards for that turn. I really like having the Rillaboom in the deck too, because you have the Retreat Lock Pokemon, plus it's got like the combined Retreat Lock, plus a little bit of a Spothra, more attack cost. I think the deck is cool. Will I be playing it? No. But I
No.
think it is worth noting that it won a City League for the first time in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, the only new card, again, is Shaman. I mean, you can make this deck right now just without Shaman.
Yeah, and
Well, but then
I think
you
you'd
get
be
housed
fine
by-
on ladder.
Yeah. Yeah, the Terra box kind of went away. I haven't seen that. Speaking of,
I
what
think
are you
Terra
seeing on
Box
the
is
ladder?
there. I think it's just at higher levels. I don't think you're seeing Terra Box right around the 1500s. I think you're probably seeing people who are prepping for tournaments that are really high level, 17, 1800 players playing the Terra Box.
Could be.
But we could scroll here. I could look at these for a long time. The last one I really want to talk about is from the 20th of April. It's been a minute since I've looked at City Leagues, which is weird for me, but there is a Mewtwo Spidops deck list on here. It only hit 15th, but this is a deck I'm really excited for personally. You pack the Sneasel to be able to hit some big hits if they want to retreat out and be protective. The Spidops, awesome card, dealing extra damage. And then the Mewtwo EX, I'm just really stoked for this card. I think for a basic to have 280 is so nice. You throw
It's
a
insane.
freaking Bravery Charm on it and you're cooking.
Yeah. And I think that the biggest problem that people are finding, or at least people are talking about, is finding that Rocket's energy every time. Because doesn't it have to discard? Am I wrong?
Yes. Well, you have to send 2 energy to deal
Right.
extra damage, right? So I believe it's 60 extra per energy you send. So you can send 1 and do 220 KO a Pheasantipity for 1 energy. Or you can send 2 and hit the 240.
Got it.
Or the 280, sorry, 280. Yeah, it goes from 160 to 320 or 220 to 280. But I think it's
Makes
interesting.
sense.
I think it'll be fun on ladder. I think it'll be a blast to play. I think it's worth crafting when it comes out is really what I'm trying to get at with that. But gents, we got literally like no time left on this hour slot. So if anybody has any last words, get them out now. Chef, you got anything for us?
Nope. I'm working on some fun stuff this week. Just some Tinkaton, some psychic type nonsense. That's all I got.
Beautiful. Snipe, what do you got for us?
just want to say thanks to everybody. I actually hit 1 million views this past week, which was
Yo.
so. Thanks everybody for watching, and took a couple days off, did stuff around the house. So I'll be
Yes,
back
sir.
tomorrow with actually it's going to be a Pokemon that snipes. We're doing a sniper tomorrow.
Let's go.
Oh, here we go. We're finally sniping the bench, guys.
Oh yeah.
Thank
We're
you
doing
for
a snipe
watching the
tomorrow.
damage counters. Thank you everyone for joining in with us this week. It's been a blast making these. We're just in a group chat, like what day is best for us. Maybe this day. Oh, I got something this day. Oh, maybe this day. We're doing it just like 3 regular dudes would put a podcast together. So thanks for taking the time to watch our videos. Catch us next week. It's been a blast as always, and peace out.
See ya.
Peace.